Hello, you guys, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Journey Podcast, where I am your host, Kiara. I'm so excited, guys. This is episode 50. Oh my God. First, I want to give a shout out to everyone that's been a part of the community. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for sharing with friends. Thanks for sharing with family members. Thanks for being a part of this journey with me. I really just like episode 50 came fast. I feel like we started June 2025. Um I think it was June 23rd to be exact. So it was like June 23rd. Um God is so good. I'm so excited. Episode 50. This is really big. While some may have just joined this journey, I just want to give a little background before I dive into today's episode. I sucked at public speaking. I had an counter that a good friend of mine, Mindy, would hold me accountable for. uh, and it would count how much times I said in an episode, and I said my first episode like 225 times, and that was in like 30 minutes. And so I was very nervous. I was nervous about a lot. I was nervous about being transparent. I was nervous about what people would think about me sharing my journey. I was nervous about whose feelings I might have hurt. Just sharing my take on a lot of things that I've been through, from a child to an adult. I was worried about all kinds of things, okay? Like, what are you gonna think of me? They're not gonna think my life is not perfect. Well, my life is not perfect. Um, it's decent, I live a okay life. God is good. I live an amazing life. Yeah, that's what I live an amazing life. Yes, I do. It's amazing. We're gonna go ahead and speak that. Yeah, claim that. I don't. No. Okay, but I was just afraid of all of what trans being transparent would mean for me. Um, and just sharing, just kind of like kind of cringy. Sometimes to hear the things that I have to say, and then when I hear it out loud, I'm like, really, care? Like, be for real. But no, I mean, so much growth has come in this journey, from this journey, and I'm so grateful. I've been able to build healthy connections, with amazing people, the opportunities that have presented themselves. Oh my God. I'm just excited. Who I am as an individual mostly is my biggest thing on this podcast journey, because not only do I speak more confidently, I speak confidently now. It's not like I don't shy away from being put on the spot or having to explain, or just talk. I don't. Yeah, I'm good, y'all. Not me getting in the front. Hey, hold on. Y'all want me to be the speaker today? Because I will. What's up? Hey, how are you guys? And it's just confident. It's just like, and I used to be, while I'm a very bold person, I haven't always been a confident person. So once I would have to get comfortable before I started, like, before you really saw my personality. And then I would be like, yeah, I'm this great person. And they're like, wow, you were really shy starting out, but now you're like amazing. And I'm like, yeah, no, now that's just me off top. What's up? Hey, y'all. How are y'all? Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of It is just like, I'm excited. The amount of prep that it takes prior to getting on, where I would have to like literally coach myself through talking and what I was going to say and how I was going to sound, or whatever the case may be. Um, I would sit there for at least an hour before I started recording. Now I come to my desk, I, pull up what I need to pull up on whatever screen I need to pull it up on, and I get to it. Record. Hello. Hey, how we doing? And I just go, like, I just do it. And I'm so I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of those that have called me after episodes and just tell me um how like the episode resonated with them and how they were able to be transparent with me and be vulnerable and with others, um, and not feel judged and not care about what people think about them. And so I pray that my boldness is contagious. I pray that everybody that has told me that they'd like to start a podcast, I hope that you do it with confidence, and you can do it. I was in an extreme. I was a serial ummer. I'm y'all. I was watching. I was watching this really good show the other day, and the lady was just she was like a I'll tell y'all. We ain't gotta talk about that. Anyways, I'm so excited. I'm so grateful. Episode 50. Thank you guys for tuning in thus far. This episode, guys, is special because it is the last of the rebranding season. We started the rebranding season in October. Um, and we're going into a new season. That does mean that we're gonna be off air for 3 weeks. So why do I not have this together already? Because I was so busy binge watching a series, and so that means February 15th we're gonna be back. Um, it's gonna be better. It's gonna be amazing. I'm so excited about next season because I've already started working on all the things, and I'm just looking forward to all that there's gonna be going on. Which on the episode on February 15th, I will just kind of let you guys know what to expect as I take this time to just close up all the open ends and just make sure um, everything's I like to say everything's the way that I want it to be, that everything the way that God wants it to be. Um, and so God is preparing me for next season, and in that time, I'm going to take the time to still continue working on being the best version of myself and just yeah, making the pod better, stronger, more efficient, and just yeah, whatever God wants. I'm so excited. So yes, episode 50. We are gonna go and continue with episode 51 on February 15th in our new season. All the information is gonna be given out on that first episode. So y'all, please be on the lookout on my social media for heads up, what to expect, our little commercials and all the things. I'm so excited. I'm working on so much right now, so this time is gonna be very personal for me, and so I'm grateful for it. So let's go ahead get into today's episode so that we can just wrap it up. But so all the things we talked about in rebranding, I think one thing that I really, really, really don't like that I neglected to address was the fact that in the midst of you becoming new, in the midst of you just morphing from this old version of yourself to this new version of yourself, over the grieving of the old version of yourself, over the depression, over the unfamiliar new things that you have had to accept, you still have to show up as a parent. You still have to show up as an employee. You still have to show up as a friend. You still have to show up as a your parents' child or whatever. Or you still have to show up as those things. And so I don't like that I neglected to share how hard that was and how for me and how I had to process that. Those that are not aware, I am a mom. I am a wife. I'm an employee. Uh I'm a friend. I'm a sister. I'm a lot of things. I think for a lot of the time, for most of those people, I'm a therapist. Unofficial. I am not like a licensed therapist or anything, but a lot of people do feel inclined to share with me um, their things, and I mean, we have like a whole little therapeutic session, which is fine. I love to be there for people. It doesn't even matter if I don't know you. I love to be there for people, and sometimes I'm there for people even when I don't have the mental capacity to be there for others. So here I am grieving this old version of myself, these old things that I just didn't want to let go, these old people that I didn't see my life without. And here I am still having to show up in the capacity of a friend, as a parent, and the type of mom that I am. I'm overly active. Um, I am I'm a mom. I am physically, mentally, and emotionally um yeah. I am yeah. I am that. My kids are always with me. Most of the time. If you see them, more than likely they came from my house. Or yeah, like yeah, they're always with me. They're always with me. So I always have the responsibility of being a mom. Um, it's not often that I can say, oh, my kids went somewhere for the weekend, or oh, they went. And don't get me wrong, I do live out of town. I don't live in the same town as their other parents, or my family or their family. So that is a major factor. However, I'm still human, So I'm always having to do that, That's always my thing. I have two teenage daughters. Um, my kids' ages are 16, 14, 10, 9, two 8-year olds, um, and a 4-year old. And I also have a stepdaughter. But in my household, are my, are the 16, 14, 10, 9, two 8-year olds, and a 4-year old. And so I'm always, I always have that responsibility to, like, I'm their first line of defense. I'm their first line of everything. And so while I'm on a journey to heal and to be this better version of myself, I still have to. They don't know what I've been through. They don't care, you know. And so here I am showing up fully for them. Um, I have my husband as well, so he's here too. But um it's like, when you're the mom, it's different. Like, it's just different. It's always gonna be different. I don't care what anybody says. Which, you know what, I have seen dads that are more like, like, I don't even really know the word to use, like, where the dad is really like the person in the household that is just like, okay, yeah, that's who we call, like that, and so I've seen that. I've seen situations where the dad is the primary parent. I've seen that. I've witnessed that firsthand. I've witnessed it. I know males that, yeah, they are really like, yeah, I know people like that, so I don't even want to say, but here I am. Everything I say, guys, I want y'all to know that I'm only speaking for myself. I can't speak from a dad's point of view because I've never been a dad. And I can only speak from my own situation. And yeah, I'm primarily that person. um as far as, like, between my kids and their other parents. And so, um while that is, I still have to show up for them. And so while they're going, my teenage girls, or they're going through their hormonal things, or things at school, or their attitude changes, just hormones doing their thing, I'm having to deal with that on top of the fact that I need to heal. I need to not be triggered by certain things. I need to be a good example. I need to be a healthy example. I have to show up to work on time. I have to I have to be at work. I have to have a job. I have to do all these things, and still be on this journey. I have to grieve. I have to be depressed. I have to, and I still have to show up. I can't make an excuse, you know? And sometimes, like I said, I haven't just rebranded just one time in life, but sometimes I've gotten stuck where I had to put myself on the back burner to, to be there for everybody else, and I've had to neglect well, I felt like I had to neglect myself to a point where healing was put on the back burner. Okay, I'll heal later. I'll forgive all those people later. I don't have time for that right now. My daughter needs me. My son needs me. Somebody needs me. My job call. They offering overtime. I got to go. I got to be there. And so it's just like, what? How do you juggle all of that? And I've had people ask me, how are you so calm? Guys, it took me so long to get to this version of myself. Ugh, excuse me. It took me so long to get to this version of myself. Like, I wasn't always calm. And so sometimes people even make a comment and say, "You don't seem like you have 7 children. You don't act like you how am I supposed to act?" Oh, I lost my mind. How am I supposed to act? Like, how do you act like how many children you have? And it's so crazy. But I have mastered peace, in the like while not being able to master peace. I had to learn how to do that. I had to learn to be okay with not being okay. I had to learn, hey, it's okay to feel. It's okay to fix these things. And while I was going on this journey, while I've been on this journey multiple times, in the last time, what I realized, and it's been done every time. It didn't stand out to me because I wasn't as mature, um, in my past as I am now. So I was realizing that God was providing me with all the things that I needed to 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 thrive on my journey of rebranding and becoming a better version of myself. Whether those tools was just new knowledge, healthy connections with people that are where I want to be, or people that just contribute um, to the peace that I needed, that people that have also mastered peace. And so um, I saw that God was just not only enlarging my territory, but enlarging my circle. Um, it was just, I would just talk to my couple of friends all the time, nobody else outside of that. And, or I would just be like, oh, I can just talk to my husband about everything. And so many things happened where it was like, okay, I have to find new friends. I have to find new people to talk to, with like different mindsets and just different things going on. And it wasn't necessarily that I was trying to leave anybody behind, or that I was trying to, um, or I was trying to like move away, like move past something, or yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to really break that, but I feel like if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so here I was realizing how God was just putting people in my life that I needed, that I didn't know that I needed um until I was mature enough to understand what He was doing in my life. And so here I was, and I was seeing things that I needed to see. I was I mean, when I say the timing was so precise. And so here we are now trying to just rush a process. Do not rush the process. You have to trust the process. And you also have to understand, people are like, "Oh, I strongly believe that sometimes you do have to walk alone and leave everything behind. However, sometimes you need people to walk with you, like the monks. Y'all know how the monks are walking and they're just, they're doing it in togetherness. Sometimes you can't do that walk alone. Sometimes you need people. Sometimes you need somebody to remind you who you are, who God created you to be, who God called you. When you forget, because sometimes you're going to forget, you're going to feel like you're not worthy of being this person that you know that God, you know in your heart that God calls you to be. And so remember I was sharing with you guys how there was this point where I had imposter syndrome. For those that don't know what imposter syndrome is when you just don't feel worthy of being in the room, and where you don't feel worthy of that position, or or whatever it is. You just don't feel worthy. You in your mind, you've lowered your worth below what you're actually worth, because you don't see yourself in the light that somebody else may have the capacity to see you in. And so God was bringing people around me that saw me how God sees me, and they were encouraging me, and they still are. They're here. Hold on now. Stop. Hey. 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 And sometimes it's those friends. It's those friends that you just need. Sometimes you have to walk with others, and that's okay. Sometimes you meet the love of your life. I don't know. You get in a new relationship while you're on this journey, and then people are gonna say, "Oh, you're changing because you're, you got this person in your life." Whole time, this person is showing you, is reminding you of who you were, who you are, who you were all along. You just didn't know, and you needed them because you needed them to feed your ego. You needed them to feed your mind, and to remind you, who you are, who you show up as, who they see you, or the light that others outside of yourself see you in. Because sometimes people will see that light, but they won't even tell you, girl, you that. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, bro. You that. You really, yeah, you really like that. Just by the way you talk. Just by the way you command the room when you walk in, the way that you can communicate with anybody. Sometimes those people that are around you, they're so jealous, or they're so like, oh, she's here. She thinks she's all that. They thinking that in their head, but they'll never tell you. They'll never tell you how they saw how everybody's face lit up when you came in the room, or they saw how everybody was like when you came. Yeah, that's her. That's him. And so they don't even want you to see yourself like that. They see you like that, but they're not gonna tell you that, because hold on, you might think you better than me. Mm-mm. We don't need that. I'm the one with, I'm the one with the money, or I'm the one with the 13,000 followers, or I'm the one. So they, in their mind, they're trying to convince themselves that they're better than you when they look at you and they see that, yeah, she got a light that's natural about her. She got, or he got something, is something about him. And you know what? It's like, it's something about them. I just can't put my finger on it. Don't put your finger on me. Don't put your finger on nothing concerning me, because I don't need that. I need people that love me, and that are encouraging me, and that are, that are, what's the word I want to say? I want, I want people around me to, yeah, I hype my people up. Hold on now, not you got the bad position. Look at you got a new position. I don't care if we both went after the same position. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the fact what's yours is yours. What's mine, I'm gonna have it. I anything that I'm supposed to have, God has given it to me, or He's gonna give it to me, and I'm confident in that. And so sometimes the people that we're around, they're not confident in themselves. They're more confident in you being successful than they are in themselves, and so they don't call it out. So you do need those people around you that are gonna call it out. Hey, let me show. Yeah, you that. You go, friend. That's what I'm talking about, friend. That's what I'm talking about, girl. Even if I don't know you, I'm the type of person that I'm definitely gonna hype you up. I don't know you, and I see you doing your thing. Yes, yeah, yeah. Real recognize real. Yeah, light recognizes light. I see the light that's in me and you, and I love that for you, and I'm proud of you, and I'm happy about all the things that God is going to do for you. And so sometimes God sends you um your people before you get to the destination. While you're on a journey, He sends you those people you that you're gonna need while you're under construction. And so here you are in a construction zone. They came because they know what you're capable of, and they know They know where you they know exactly where you're going. They know exactly who you are, and they see it. Before they see it before you even said that that's what you wanted. They saw the light, and they came along to support you on this journey. Unlike the people that sometimes you just gotta walk away from it just a little bit. And you gotta let them feel however they feel about your growth in your process in your construction. You have to just let them. That's my. I sound like my therapist. Go ahead. Okay. Okay. Therapy rubbing off on me. My therapist is super cute too, like me. She's so sweet, and she says that her thing is let them. Her and the let them theory is are one, because she says that a lot. She let them. Before I get the statement out, she be like, just let them. Just let her. Just let him. Whatever it is that I want to talk about, she already know where I'm going. She know where I'm going. She knows, and you need people like that. My therapist is definitely a part of my journey, my rebranding journey. Um, um, there are so many others that are a part of my rebranding journey, that just don't know how much I needed them and um, how the timing. The timing was so perfect, and so here you are, while you're on this journey, and you have to show up in all the different capacities that you're required to show up. Show up for others, but do not forget to show up for yourself. Don't put yourself on the back burner, because when you think about it, and I was on the phone talking to my friend Brittany, and she was telling me, she was like, when we as mothers, well, and I should say as parents, but we were talking about ourselves, and we're both we're both mothers, and when we as mothers, we get so consumed in being all the things to our children. We're Uber drivers, we're nurses, we're therapists, we're doctors, um, we're just everything. We're chefs. We're just everything. We're on call. Not only do we have to be good parents to them, but we have to be good parents to their teachers. So when you have multiple kids, like myself, or when you have a kid that's in middle school, you have multiple teachers that you're dealing with. You're not just dealing with one teacher. And sometimes when you are just simply a good parent, um, you neglect yourself for your children. I think a lot of the time, that has been my thing. I've neglected myself so many times for my kids. I've said to myself, you know what? I can just worry about me later. Let me just get the kids out of the way. I can do away with extracurricular activities. Um, for myself, so that I could do extracurricular activities for my kids. And and here you are thinking, like, as a parent you sacrifice, and which is true. Which is true. As a parent you do make certain sacrifices for your children. However, um doing things that promote healthy mental health, um that is no, don't negotiate that. Because if ever a time where you are not mentally okay, you're not physically okay, you're like just beat down because you just always put everything before yourself, everything, you always put yourself on the back burner, you're gonna you are gonna come to a point where you are no good for your children. And now, can you call yourself a good parent when um you drove yourself sick um to be a good parent? Being a good parent being is being there, and you can't be there if you're not there. Um And so don't neglect yourself on this journey of rebranding. Don't allow yourself to slip away so far that every conversation with the children is irritable. Where they're asking you something simple and you're going off yelling, or you're obviously agitated, or they're scared to ask you things because, oh, I already know you're gonna say no. I already know. I didn't tell you because I knew you were gonna get mad. um or whatever the case may be. um be my oldest kids, well, all my kids now, I think that they understand because I've been so open with them um on this journey about how mommy needs time to herself, and they understand that. And I promote for them to take time to themselves. I do one-on-one time with all of them all the time. Whether it's I'm just picking them up from school, grabbing some ice cream or a drink from Sonic's. Um, they enjoy those little things. Everything doesn't have to be something big. Sometimes it's just a walk. Sometimes it's just sitting in the car with them talking, um, and just letting them know, just being open. Hey, mommy needs this time too, so I understand, and they understand. And so, we promote mental health, healthy mental health around here at my house, and so they know, they know. I wouldn't say I tell them all the little small details, but for the most part, they know that sometimes I just need a moment. Sometimes I do need to go out to eat by myself. Sometimes I do need to go get my toes done, or my nails done, or both without them. Sometimes I just go and have a little me time. Um, and Joe, that's another thing. Joe was telling me, Joe, the my friend, he was telling me that he was like, even if it's just 5 minutes, like just do it for like with yourself. Cause I got away from that. Cause I started to feel like it was selfish and I was liking it too much. And so Joe was like 5 minutes and maybe you can like increase the time. And so I was telling him, I was like, Joe, is at a point where now if I go sit out in the car, my kids will come and pull the door, Joe. But I just had to communicate with them. Just let them know, hey, mom needs a moment. Please. Thank you. Leave me alone. And take that time. Every time the job is offering overtime, please don't go running. Take that time to sow into yourself, to be there for yourself, to show up for yourself the way that you show up for others, unapologetically. And don't feel guilty about showing up for yourself, guys. Please. Please, 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 please. Don't feel guilty for showing up for yourself. Don't feel guilty for choosing what's best for you. Don't feel bad about what you doing, what you know in your heart is just right. So on this journey of rebranding, um, I hope that you can confidently and boldly walk in whoever it is who that God called you to be. Um, and don't apologize for that. Those that need to understand, they're gonna understand in perfect timing. They might not understand right now. You might not understand right now. But obedience is so much better than sacrifice. Just when you just do what God is putting it on your heart to do, when you just stop putting it off, um, stop giving all your time to things and people and places that aren't growing you, aren't nurturing you, um, that aren't supporting you, that aren't hyping you up and making you feel like, okay, you are what's next. Yeah, like you are that light. You are you're on the right path. You're going in the right direction. Um Things that don't make you feel like that, just take a break from it. Take a break from it. And if it has to be a permanent, like it, let it be that. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm not scared to lose anything, anybody. Um that just isn't serving um me in the way that I need to be in the season that I'm in. And so I pray that you guys are confident on this journey, unapologetic on this journey, and just happy about I'm happy about what God is doing in your life, in my life. I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it. I am going to go ahead and wrap this week's episode up. This again, guys, episode 50. We've come so far, come too far from where I started. was I was thinking that all day thinking about episode 15. I'm so happy. Like I'm so proud, man. I'm so proud. Thank you again to everybody that has supported me from the icebreaker. Those that just started and are just like going through the videos. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm so grateful for what's next for the podcast, all the things that are happening behind the scenes. Oh, yes, God is so good. God has been so good to me. I pray that He just continues to keep doing what He's doing in all of our lives. I'm proud of you. You go, girl. You go, guy. Whatever, whoever. You go, you. We are going to be who God called us to be. We are going to keep going. We're not going to get stagnant. We're going to keep pushing each other and praying for each other and just, let's go. If you guys want to, y'all can hit me up on social media. On Instagram is X_KISSUM. On Facebook is just KISSUM. If you write me on Facebook, I'm probably not gonna write you back because I really do. I even have Messenger? I really just don't. Yeah, I be looking at reels on Facebook for the most part. I really just don't really like do too much. I will even comment on your stuff on there and forget that I commented on it, and I will get a notification that you like my comment or said something, and I gotta be better with that. But I'm an Instagram person, so if you are on Instagram, please hit me up on there. You can also text the hotline 770-805. Is it 802? 802-1200. 802-1200. So 770-802-1200. You can text the hotline. Text the hotline, podcast stuff only. Please, please, please. If you don't have me on social media, it's just easier to hit me up on social media than it is on the hotline or anything else or email. If you want to check out some of the most recent episodes and you don't have YouTube for whatever reason, you can go on the website at thejourneypodcast.life and check out the last few episodes. I believe it's only audio, but the very last episode, this episode is gonna be up there. And it'll also take you to the YouTube channel. So you probably can just create a YouTube account, which if you have Google, then if you have Gmail, you have a YouTube account. But anyways, um, I love you guys with my whole heart. I cannot wait until February 15th. I hope you guys have an amazing Valentine's Day. If you have a baby, it's gonna be born October 27th. If you get pregnant for Valentine's Day, don't do that. But anyways, other than that, yeah, I love you guys with my whole heart. Don't forget to show up for yourself. Please, if you feel led to, give me some feedback. Let me know how I did today on today's episode or any episode that you want to talk about. We can talk about it. I love y'all. Bye.